Hello and welcome to Walking the Weird. Thank you so much for joining me for another one of my weird walks. Today I have come to the Isle of Avalon, or more commonly known as Glastonbury. Glastonbury is a very unusual town located in the southwest of England. It's rich in ancient history, Arthurian legends, magic, mystery and spirituality. So without further ado, let's go and take a closer look at this incredible town. I began my Glastonbury adventures by heading for the town centre. The town is certainly colourful, rich with an eclectic mix of New Age and pagan shops selling all kinds of magical wares. In the great outdoors, forever free. Glastonbury town has an abundance of shops offering a range of holistic therapies, from Reiki and crystal healing to sound therapies and goddess healing. Take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. Palm and tarot readers can also be found around every corner. Meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors. After making a couple of purchases from the wonderful Weird Raven, I then made my way to the beautiful ruins of Glastonbury Abbey. Such an utterly beautiful ruined abbey, it really is. So much to look at. So Glastonbury Abbey was built in the 8th century, but sadly in 1184 it was ravished by fire. It was, however, by the 14th century rebuilt, and it was much improved, and that from that point it stood as one of the most powerful and richest monasteries in England. So this building here is the old Abbey kitchen, so let's go and have a little closer look. So I'm now going to go and try and find the tombs, or alleged tombs, of King Arthur and Queen Guinevere. So we've got links here obviously with Arthurian legends, but some believe that it was really just a marketing strategy by the monks to bring more people and more donations to the abbey. Here we are, so site of King Arthur's tomb. In the year 1191, the bodies of King Arthur and his queen were said to have been found on the south side of the Lady Chapel. On 19th of April 1278, their remains were removed in the presence of King Edward I and Queen Eleanor to a black marble tomb on this site. This tomb survived until the dissolution of the abbey in 1539. So I'm just on my way to the Tor now, which is a mile from the town, so a bit of a trek. And there, behind me, you can see the perimeter of the Abbey grounds. Just shows how vast it is, because I'm on the other side of town now.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful.
I'm nearly there. I'm so nearly there. Whew.
Meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Made it. So Glastonbury Tor, there it is. It stands in the middle of the Somerset levels and it commands fantastic views at its elevation, which is at 518 feet, which is around about 158 meters high. So no wonder I was feeling the burn on the way up, you know, let myself off there for that one. It's made of various layers of Jurassic period rocks, and archaeologists did discover Neolithic finds such as tools and pottery and such like when they carried out their excavations in modern times. So historians actually believe that a timber church was built upon the very top of the Tor in the 11th century, and the church was dedicated to St Michael. But in 1275, and very unusually for this part of the world, the Church of St Michael, which stood upon the Tor, was destroyed by an earthquake, and it was a really significant earthquake. It stretched from London all the way across to Wales, which really is so unheard of in the UK, but it caused destruction on its way to houses, homes, buildings, and sadly the church upon the top of the Tor. But a second church was built in the 14th century to replace it. However, it didn't last through the dissolution of the monasteries. Sadly, Henry VIII had his way here in Glastonbury too, and in 1539 it was all destroyed apart from the remaining tower, which still stands today. As I touched on before, Glastonbury remains a really special place for many religions and spiritualities, or to those that have none at all. There's just something about it, and I've heard people when I was up there on the Tor talking about ley lines, energy lines, and I know that the pagan community are really devoted to this space, and they have their rituals during the Sabbats and the solstices, and they also celebrate the new moon and the full moon here as well. The Tor is believed by some pagan faiths to be a portal to the other world, and particularly to the land of the Fae, of the fairy folk. Christians believed that a young Jesus came here accompanied by his uncle Joseph of Arimathea. Apparently, his uncle Joseph buried the Holy Grail at the bottom of the Tor, which of course is something that King Arthur was looking for. But it's not all love and light. So there was a very unfortunate abbot whose name was Richard Whiting, and he met a very grisly end here when he was hanged, drawn and quartered, along with two of his monks, one of them being his treasurer. He was accused of treason through the act of robbing Glastonbury Church of all of its treasures. He and his two companions were dragged brutally by horses to the top of the Tor, whereupon they were executed. So Whiting's head was placed at the west gate of the now deserted Glastonbury Abbey, and his limbs were put on display in 4 different locations. So I think each town had one of his limbs, and they are in Wells, Bath, Ilchester and Bridgewater. So yeah, that was a real frowned upon crime of robbing the church of its treasures. So people of all faiths have flocked to the tour, and it sees thousands of visitors every year of, as I said earlier, all faiths and of none. All of them on their own special personal pilgrimage, just to feel that connection with nature or with the gods of their own understanding.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here.
So I'm now at the Chalice Well garden, so I'm really excited to have a look here. At the foot of Glastonbury Tor is an ancient spring that flows from the ground. This is the Chalice Well, and it's also sometimes known as the Blood Well, due to the high iron content in the water. 25,000 gallons of water flow through this well every single day. A beautiful, tranquil garden and quiet space for contemplation have been created here for all to enjoy. Such a beautiful place for contemplation and rest. Stunning. Just around the corner from the Chalice Well is a second spring. This one is rich in calcite and is known as the White Spring. A temple has been created here to create a private sanctuary to those who wish to tread its waters. Filming inside the White Spring is strictly forbidden, but I have found some Google images that I'd like to share with you. I was incredibly moved by my visit to the White Spring. I can't recommend it enough for anybody that comes to Glastonbury. Thank you so much for joining me today here in Glastonbury. I really do hope you've enjoyed looking at the weird and wonderful town of Glastonbury and everything it has to offer, from the tour to the Chalice Well to the quirky, unusual shops. There really is something for everyone, and I think in Glastonbury anything goes. So thank you again. Please do consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you all again on the next Weird Walk.